What's going on, guys? This is Gamezia bringing you another Pocket Center video, and today is Friday. So it being Friday, the hunting grounds have changed, which is kind of cool. It gives a new selection of Pokemon and it's very exciting. So what we're going to do today is we're going to jump into hunting, look at the Pokemon and see what's out there, see what you might want to get, and we're going to look at some base stats. For those of you who don't know what base stats are, it's basically what it starts out with, and that's kind of how you judge the power of Pokemon. So what you're going to do is just going to go to Pokedex over here, and then let's just do Zapdos for example. So we're going to go here, go Zapdos, and then we're going to look at RV, and RV is the base stat. So what we're looking for is, you can look at total RV, which is going to be the total stats, which is 580. Anything over 500 is actually really good. So Zapdos being 580, that's crazy. So that's awesome. But let's just take a look at another example. Gyarados 540, 390 is not very good, but you can kind of judge a Pokemon's power based on its total RV and see if it's good enough to make your squad. Awesome. So we're gonna head right into hunting and take a look at the first couple Pokemon. So we're gonna start off with the junior hunting ground here, and first of all, nothing that great. Staryu's really good. Staryu's got great speed. Phibes actually goes into melodic, which has a mega evolution, which is pretty good. Couple we'll look at Clamperl right here. So Clamperl has 3 evolutions, and we're gonna take a look at the last one to see if it's any good. And this is kind of it may not be the best way to judge a Pokemon by stats or anything, but it is a very good indicator if it'll be good. So right here, 485, that's not very high. It has a very high physical defense, okay special defense, and special attack is pretty good. Its speed isn't that great, and HP is really low, so nothing crazy about this Pokemon right here. Next one we're going to be looking at is going to be Poliwag. So Poliwag is pretty quick, but I'm pretty sure once you upgrade it, it gets slower. But let me double check. So right here we have Poliwag. It's got 90 speed right here. And Poliwrath only has 70 speed, so yeah, his speed does go down, and his total stats is only 500. So he's got it split between a physical attacker and a special attacker, which isn't the greatest. Normally, if you can take stats from one and put it into the other, he's a really strong hitter, but not in this case. Alright, jumping back into it, we're going to be looking at Phibes. Phibes is good just because it's got a Mega Evolution. For those who don't know, a Mega Evolution is another form on top of like the already previous highest evolution. Right now, you can only get those Mega Evolutions if you hit level 70 and have like outrageous prerequisites to be able to get it to Mega. So it's not easy. I just like getting the Pokemon that you can like keep going with and that they get better later in the game. So we're going to take a look at Phibes right here. So we're looking at Phibes. Phibes is not good by itself. So alright, so 555, that's really good. Zapdos I think had 580, so it's pretty close to legendary status. And this is only the basic form. This isn't even Mega. So we're going to look at it. Speed is 100 right off the bat, so that's really good. And then it has a special defense. Its physical defense, not very good. But then, as you can see over the left hand side, the physical attack is 55 and special attack is 125. So what that looks like is it kind of looks like instead of breaking it even and being like 90, 80 physical attack and that, they basically took a lot of the stats from the physical attack and put them onto the special attack. So that's when you know you have a pretty good Pokemon, when they have one really good stat. So then you could, so then it just hits really hard. But yeah, so 555 total stats, really good. So I would keep that. That's Phibes is really good. Alright, so next one we're going to look at is going to be Staryu. Let's take a look. Alright, so it's going to be 520 total stats. Not bad for only one evolution after the initial starting Pokemon, so not bad. And it has a speed of 115, which is really good, and has solid defense throughout the board. So it has 85 physical D and 85 special D, and 100 special attack. The only thing it's lacking is going to be health, and that could hurt you, but it will withstand, like, and it's got great speed, so it is competitive. But so if you're looking for a cheap good Pokemon, this is going to be it right here. Okay, so next one we're looking at is going to be Zubat. Zubat evolves into Crobat, so it has 2 evolutions, but so Crobat here has a total stat of 535. So again, it's similar stats to Starmie for total stat wise, but it has very high speed. 130 is one of the highest in the game. I think the next one I think is Alakazam that I've seen that you can get right now. 130, and Alakazam only has 120, so if you can get a Crobat with like Crunch or something, you can actually destroy most Psychic Pokemon. But yeah, so a speed of 130, and then again it does have the physical and special attack kind of similar, so that is kind of a put off. I wish they would have put less special, maybe more physical attack here, so bump it up to 120 and then 50 special attack, but you get what you get. So it's decent all around the board. HP 85, physical, special 80, so this is a really good Pokemon. It's very fast, so the only problem is it does have 2 evolutions to be able to get this Pokemon, and it doesn't have a Mega. It's kind of debatable whether you want him. He's very fast, like I said, so if you're looking for that, but there are better stat-wise Pokemon. Next, we're going to be moving into medium hunting ground, and right off the bat, I don't see anything too crazy. The only one that kind of piques my interest is going to be Rydon. I actually own this Pokemon, and he's very good against Psychic Pokemon. He resists Psychic Pokemon, so if you're going against Gengar, Alakazam, anything like that, if they use Psychic, Psybeam, and anything like that, he's completely immune to it, can't be touched by it. So that is kind of a neat feature about him. The only thing is he's not super powerful, so he is more of a situational Pokemon. So as you can see, his total stats are 468. That's pretty low, and so I mean, he only has 2 evolutions, doesn't go into Mega, so it is very low. His speed's not good. But he does have very good attack and even special attack. So he is a beater, but he doesn't have a high enough speed to where he's probably going to be able to go. So like I said, this is very situational, very good to throw in against Alakazam, something like that. If the Alakazam has a different moveset, he will go first, and your special defense is really low. So it is kind of a toss-up, but if you can get him, great, but I wouldn't make him a huge part of your team. He's very situational. Okay, next we're going to be looking at Rosalia. Rosalia has another evolution, I'm pretty sure, right here, so we're going to take a look. Rosalia right here. So base stats 400, and yeah, so not the last one, so raid. Right here, so 505, again, nothing crazy. Speed isn't even that high. 90, that's alright, but very good special attack. Special defense is okay. HP is very low. I would not recommend this Pokemon. There's some better ones. If you guys have Venusaur, he's way better. Even Executor, I'm pretty sure, can stand up to that. Not speed-wise, but can get close. Yeah, definitely not speed-wise, but he can definitely stand up to it. Okay, so Wailmer we're going to take a look at. Quite rare water Pokemon, so let's take a look. I know his evolution is very beefy. It's the only reason why we're looking at him right now. Sweet, and it's going to be 500. So if you could see that, 170 HP base stats. That's insane. That is so much HP. That's incredible. Speed is even pretty high. It can beat some of the slower Pokemon, so that's actually pretty good. Its defense is not very good at all, but it also has a split physical attack and split special attack. So I can't find a reason to get this guy. There's a lot better water Pokemon right now, so I would skip on this guy, but he is very interesting. I don't know how the HP stats stack in this, so I know it's a little bit skewed with my Zapdos having like 3,000 health right now, so 170 and Zapdos has... Zapdos only has 90, so it's almost double. So because I have 3,000 health right now, at the same level with the same stats, would he have 6,000? He probably would, but I don't know for sure, but that could be something to consider. That's pretty crazy. But otherwise, until more research comes out, I wouldn't get him. Alright, and that's the only ones I think for the medium hunting ground that are any good. Yeah, there's nothing else worth getting here. Let me take a look at Natu really quick, but I don't think there's anything special. So 470, it doesn't even reach the 500 mark, and it speeds 95, but I mean its HP's low and it's gonna get one-shotted, so wouldn't bother getting it. Alright, so next we're going to go into the Senior Hunting Ground. Senior Hunting Ground is the big boys. This is where you get all the good ones. And right off the bat, we see Registeel. If you get him, no brainer, get him. That's like, come on, are you serious? So yeah, just do it. But we're going to take a look at the other ones. First off the bat is going to be Heracross. Heracross, I think you should get. You should definitely get him. He has a Mega Evolution, so he's going to be good. I wish they would show you the Mega Evolutions in this. They don't, which is kind of disappointing. I mean, you can go here and then type in Heracross and the Mega doesn't show up, so you can't look at the stats for those. But it has 500 base stats, which is kind of the minimum bar requirement that we're looking for here. So because it has a Mega on top of that, it becomes more valuable. And if you see here, it's got physical attack 125, special attack 40. So it did exactly what I was talking about. You want to get one stat really good, and his physical attack is just through the roof, and his speed is really high for what he is. So the Mega Evolution, probably, I don't know if it buffs physical attack or speed, but it's gotta do something. So he's very tanky with the physical defense, special defense. He's just got all his stats are in the right place. So physical attack, that could be 0 and no one would care because you don't want those moves. You want physical attack. And it does a very good job with not wasting, it doesn't waste like 50 points with like a 90 special attack or anything. It distributes them very well with 80 HP. Speed's very good, and the other thing. So I would say get this one. Mega Evolutions, like I said, are very hard to get because you have to be level 70 and tons of prerequisites. But I would definitely get this guy and save him for those opportunities. Alright, so we're going to go through all of these just to look at some stats, see what's going on. So the next one's going to be Electabuzz right here. It's hard for me to recommend any lightning Pokemon though, just because of the fact that there is a Zapdos, which 580 total stats. This one is he's very good. He's more of a physical attacker, so he'll do more like thunder punches, things like that. But like I said, it's hard for me to recommend another lightning type other than Zapdos, just because you can get him and he's a legendary, has more base stats. So I don't know. I would keep him. But 95 speed is pretty good. .95 speed is almost the same as Zapdos here, so like I said, very interesting Pokemon, but I don't know if you'll end up using them later, so probably not. So next one we have is going to be Skuntank. Okay, so he's Poison and Dark, which is pretty good combo. Going against a lot of these Psychic teams, Dark is very good. So Skuntank is the last evolution right here, and it's only 479 base stats. Not very good. I'd pass on this guy if you get him. I mean, like I said, if you're doing the hunting and you're getting these guys, you might as well get them just because, because you spend a hunting ticket to try to get him, but he won't be replacing anyone. Okay, next one we have Scizor. Everyone has Scizor just because he's $2 to get, so, but we'll take a look at him anyways. There's a big thing going on right now with who to get. Do I get Aron, Scyther, or like a Steelix, Onix? So there's a big thing going on with who's better, what's going on. So Scyther, Scizor has better attack, but the other two have way better like defensive stats, and it's very hard to figure out which one's better. I will be doing a video later that kind of shows like real world stats, and then kind of shows the base stats like this, and kind of so you guys can get a better look and see what you need and what you want on your team. Scizor is very good just because he starts out and only has one weakness. He's only one weakness is against fire 4 times, which any fire Pokemon would destroy him, and he's not that quick. So he's got 65 speed, so he's not that fast, but his physical attack is 130, which is very good. So, and like I said, he could tank anything else, but except for fire attacks. Fire attacks will just destroy him. So, I'll be coming out a video later, kind of going through like the steel type Pokemon, see what's better. If you ever get Metacross, just hands down get that. That thing's way better than anything. I'm pretty sure that thing's got like 580 or something. It's insane. He's really good. Yeah, 625. Okay, I was totally wrong. This thing is insane. If you ever get this Pokemon, just don't even think about it. Get him. Speed 90 for a Pokemon that has this type of like power 135 and like the defensive stats, just so good. So yeah, not a question. Get him. So the question is whether or not to keep Scizor. Right now, it's kind of up in the air between those 3. I think Steelix is the worst out of those 3, with Aggron coming in pretty close to Scizor, depending on what you need. But for now, we're going to go with Scizor. If you can get this guy, he's very good. He's got a Mega Evolution, which you can get later. And that's what I'm like, because it's so far down the road at level 70, you can get a feel of what is better. So if you get one, go ahead and get him. Like I said, if you're getting any one of these guys in the senior hunting ground and you can get them. Like, it's a no-brainer. Okay, so next one we have is going to be Rydon. Rydon is pretty good. He evolves into Rhyperion. Okay, so the base stats for this guy is 485, but he's got another form, which is going to be in this game Decidon for some reason. So let's take a look at stats. 535, so it is pretty good. He's a physical tank, and he's got very good physical attack. So 140 is really high, physical defense really high, HP is pretty good. The only thing that's bad is special attack. Special attackers will kill him, but that's what's good about these rock ones, is most of the physical attacks aren't super effective, except for a lot of the water moves, stuff like that. But his speed is low, so that is another thing to consider, very low. Should you get him? Of course, because you're getting him, but should he stay on your team? I don't know. Rock Pokemon wise, he's probably one of the best ones out there. He's way better than Golem. Let's take a look really quick at Golem. So Golem's only 485 base stats. Yeah, he is a physical defender also, but yeah, Rydon, Rhyperion, it just has way more stats, way better than him. So yeah, stick with him for rock Pokemon. The next one we have is going to be Honchkrow. So Honchkrow is the evolution of Murkrow, and he's over the baseline stat that we set for ourselves at 500 base stats, but he doesn't seem that great. His speed for a bird looking Pokemon is pretty low, 71. The only thing is he does have dark moves that he can use. His physical attack and special attack are very high. He's one of those Pokemon that, is he going to get the first hit off? Probably not, just because his speed's too low and his physical and special defense are way too low. So he probably won't get a hit off. So I would stay away from putting this guy in your team. So we looked at Poliwrath over here, and we decided that it was okay. It wasn't the greatest, just because he is... the reason why he's not the greatest right now is just because it's such a Zapdos meta, because everyone can get him really early, and because of that he isn't the great defender, but he can be a very good offense person. The only good fighting type Pokemon right now is going to be Breloom, which is like a grass fighting one, and then is also going to be just Machop going into Machamp. So we can take a look at those guys right here and kind of determine who's the best fighter. So like I said, Poliwrath 500 stats, not the greatest attacks at all, but has very good overall stats. So next one I was talking about is going to be Breloom right here, and the base stats are 460, so 40 less stats than our minimum barrier. So not the greatest, but it has very good physical attack. Can it take a hit? Kinda. It's got okay 80 and 60, but its HP is only 60, so it can't really take a hit at all. Its speed is 70. That's the only thing that might save it. It can outspeed a couple people, but it's not the greatest. So I would give Poliwrath the 1-up, just because Breloom is very effective against Drill Peck, which Zapdos also has. So I'd give it still to Poliwrath. Okay, next one we're talking about is going to be Machamp. Machamp is 505, so a little bit above that line. They're all relatively in the same zone, so and these are all Pokemon. The only reason why I'm going over these three is because they were relatively easy to get. Breloom actually is harder to get, but I know a lot of people have him, so I went over that. But Machamp right here is pretty good. Speed wise, not the greatest. You're not going to be outspeeding a lot of people, but it does have the HP and physical defense and special defense for survivability. The only problem is you have to get it there first. That's 2 evolutions for only a 505 total stat. It's kind of weak. So if you want to spend that time to do it, you can, but it's pretty weak. But there's not a ton of options for fighting Pokemon right now. But just yeah, so I would still. It's tough, but it's between Poliwrath and Machamp right now, since they both equally have 3 evolutions. So yeah, if you could teach another Pokemon a fighting move, do that instead. So last but not least, we're going to have Flygon. Flygon's one of the few dragon Pokemon that you can get in the beginning, besides the Dratini that I found a little bit ago. Okay, so here we have Flygon. So Flygon with 520 base stats, pretty good. No complaints there. That's pretty decent. And we're looking at very high speed. So I mean, not very high, but it's decent. 100 is over like the medium speeds, but it's not like exceptional speed. So it's about Zapdos speed, and it has very good like overall stats, like I said, but it does have the problem with like physical and special attack being relatively the same. And so it's not a huge beefy hitter, it's more of just an overall good Pokemon. So whether or not you'll keep this guy, you probably won't. He'll probably just be like a seasonal Pokemon that you get and then you use for a little bit. So whether you spend a ton of IVs or dolls on him, wouldn't recommend it probably. So yeah, but anyways, that's our Friday Pokemon hunting ground. Every Friday it refreshes, so that's just a little look, and yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. This is Gamezia, and if you guys like this content, if you guys want to see more, if you guys want to come back every Friday, I'm gonna be doing this every Friday. But yeah, if you guys like the content, please subscribe, and this is Gamezia signing out.